Namaste and welcome, Yogi, to this evening practice. This is a short practice that is going to incorporate a little bit of hip opening, definitely some calming to the nervous system, and opening up the back body as well. So that prepares us for a really deep good night's sleep, which is really important. In terms of props, you might grab yourself a couple of blocks for this practice. If you have a bolster or a cushion or even a mat that you want to roll up and sit up on the edge on, you can also do that as well. Other than that, you really don't need anything else for this practice. You could even do this in your pajamas. So we're going to begin with tadpole. So if you want to join me, come to a tabletop position. You're going to open your knees and bring your big toes to touch. You're going to sit your hips back to your heels. Now, if sitting back on your heels is just not accessible for you, you can always take a block and place the block between your heels and sit on the edge of the block. And then we're going to come forward and down. I personally love to use my blocks here. And I kind of just build myself like a little letter T. And I'm going to let this block rest on my chest and belly, and my forehead is going to rest there. Now, I definitely want you to use a block underneath your forehead. And the reason why is because we're going to stimulate an acupressure point, governor vessel 24.5, which is literally right where your brow and your forehead meet. So right in that little crease, you're going to try and see if you can line that up with the edge of your block. If you need more support, you can always flip the block up higher and then rest right on that point. All right? Okay. So when you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way down. If you're sitting on a block and forward folding isn't really accessible, just come down as far as you can. Even if you're going on a really high block, bring your elbows up, and a little trick here is to bring your thumbs and rest your thumbs right at that pressure point, okay? Remember, this practice isn't about how it looks, it's all about how it feels. So when you're ready, just slowly descend down, find your sweet spot, and then close your eyes down and slowly begin to breathe into the back of your body. Try to keep your jaw really soft. Keep applying pressure on that pressure point right between the brow and the forehead, right in that crease. Soften your jaw and breathe all the way up and down your spine. For these last few rounds of breath, I invite you to start to breathe in a little bit longer and to breathe out a little bit deeper. Take a really deep breath in and one long breath out. And then slowly from wherever you are, begin to lift yourself up. Take any of the props out to the side for a moment. Really carefully, just draw your knees by picking them up one at a time until they come together. And then just sit over onto one hip and take a moment. Let your legs come out in front of you. Maybe lean back into your hands. Keep your eyes closed. And then just take a few breaths here, letting your body rebound. Letting your energy reset. Letting your nervous system receive. And then gently open the eyes. Next up, we're going to take butterfly. We're going to take a fairly narrow, long butterfly because we're going to incorporate a little bit more acupressure on this point here. It's such a good point, I'm telling you. It is so calming, but it also helps with like mental clarity and focus and concentration, eye strain, eye fatigue. It's really good. All right, so you have some options here. If you want to sit up on the edge of something, you can either roll up your mat quite a few times, so you got a little lift. If you've got a bolster, you can sit up on the bolster. If you've got a blanket with you, you can. If all you got is your blocks, you can sit up on the edge of the block. But what I would recommend instead, because I want to use 2 blocks here, is to bring the feet together and open the knees, but take a really wide stance. So here I've got long and narrow. If I bring my feet in really close, like my knees will come up a little bit. And I don't want that. Whoop. I want to have a long, narrow shape so my knees actually soften a little bit more. This makes it more accessible through your hips and through your back. Then you're going to build yourself a little tower. Now, these blocks beautifully can come in any height and configuration that you need. So I want you to play a little bit. The focus is to allow either your forehead to come back down on the edge of that block so that you're resting right at that acupressure point again. Or alternatively, what you could do is find a variation with the blocks. Come back to this one where you bring your elbows up on it, then bring your thumbs together, your palms together, and then you're going to take your thumbs right at that acupressure point, okay? And it kind of looks like this. Now I want just enough of a forward fold that you feel like your back body is opening up, like you're expanding in through a book. This is not so much about how deep can I forward fold as it is about allowing the back to surrender a little bit, grounding and opening through the hips, and then applying the pressure there, okay? Again, not what it looks like. It's about how it feels. So once you find your variation, your eyes are closed, you're pressing against that point. Long, slow, deep breath. Shoulders drawn down away from your ears. Let your legs soften. Fully breathing in and fully breathing out. Soft face, soft jaw. Now, if you're resting that pressure point on the blocks as opposed to using your thumbs, then just let your arms relax wherever it feels most comfortable and effortless for you. any point, if you feel like you want to go a little deeper, all you need to do is just slide your blocks a little bit more forward. And then you're going to bring your elbows back down, or again, your forehead, and rest right on this acupressure point. And continue the long, slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. We'll take 2 more deep breaths, just as you are. And then keeping the eyes closed, slowly start to lift yourself up. Straight spine. Just let your hands relax in your lap for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. And then lay the legs straight out. The blocks can just fall wherever they are. Again, breathe in, breathe out to let your body rebound. Nervous system to receive. Energy to shift. Just noticing how you feel. And allowing the eyes to open softly for just a moment. We're going to finish off our practice in an acupressure point that's really, really calming. So again, I'm going to invite you to sit on something, whether that's a block, whether that's cushion, bolster, whatever you got, just something so that you can sit up nice and tall. We're going to be stimulating acupressure point conception vessel 17, also known as the Sea of Tranquility. That pretty much says it all, doesn't it? I love this point. I will tell you, it is for all things calming and chilling out. Even if you just did this, it would take you a long way into a beautiful, restful evening. I've even done this like in Costco when it's like crazy busy and there's too many people. All right, so to find this point, you're going to bring your fingers over towards the edges of your armpits and start to walk your fingers to the center. Eventually, you're going to land on a little bone there. And you'll know when you're on it, because if you're off of it, it's going to feel like you've dipped into a little bit of a hollow in your skin. You want to be right on the bone, okay? There's tiny, tiny, tiny little spaces between each one of these bones in your breastbone. So I like to use 4 fingers, and I'm just going to lightly press on there. You don't want to press too hard because you can actually bruise it. Your opposite hand can just relax in the lap. So the pressure point is actually located between these tiny little indentations. So as long as you're using all of your fingers here and pressing into it, you're on the right spot. Relax your shoulders, sit up tall, close your eyes, relax your face and jaw. And from here, just simply breathing in for a count of 4 or 5. And then maintaining the same breath point as you exhale. You're not forcing this breath. Just finding a rhythm that really feels smooth, organic, and effortless. Envision a calm energy as you continue pressing on this point. You might start to feel a little bit of a pulse or a little vibration underneath your fingertips. There might even be a little bit of warmth. You could feel sensation moving through your body, almost like a wave-like sensation. And just simply invite whatever comes up for you. At any point, if you feel like you can deepen your breath even more without a force or a push, then I invite you to do so. If your mind wanders, just simply come back to the sensation underneath your fingertips or the feel of the breath underneath your nostrils. Take one more full breath in and out through your nose. And then you'll let the hand come down onto the lap. Pause here. Continue breathing deeply. Just feel that calm energy within you. I'm going to end the practice here. However, please feel free to stay in a meditation position for as long as you need, or even take Shavasana before you feel like you're ready to complete your practice and head off to bed. Thank you so much for joining me today. May you sleep so well tonight, Yogi. Namaste.